daughter of the Deep South. Despite an ever-increasingly diverse United States, I remain a perpetual foreigner. But wait a minute, a woman ahead of me in line says. You look so much like the travel guide we had in Cairo. In Philadelphia, during a law school mock mediation, one of the actors playing the role of an aggrieved party insisted I was Sicilian. Come on, admit it, he prodded. What are you ashamed of? It's a lovely island. A coworker once suggested that I take a DNA test. You look exactly like my Lebanese girlfriend. I bet you're at least part Lebanese. Apparently, others' confusion is partially my own fault. That's why I couldn't tell that you are Indian, because you're only half. Violence, erasure, exoticism, appropriation. These forces can shape assumptions about identity. Beginning in 2014, when the plight of Syrians fleeing civil war blanketed the airwaves, a man working inside my home said, without prompting, that he could tell I was from Syria. When the United States denounces countries of the Southern Hemisphere, I am Venezuelan, or Guatemalan, or Mexican. Having ambiguously brown skin makes me an aberration, a visitor, or an intruder who can pose a threat to someone's safety, success, or security. In Mistaken Identity, Race and Class in the Age of Trump, Asar Haidar, a Pakistani American born in central Pennsylvania and a child during 9/11, relays how his ideas about his identity were born out of the worst terrorist attack committed on U.S. soil. My identity had become a matter of homeland security. But how could I respond to such a scenario? Should I proudly claim a fixed Pakistani identity, one that never felt quite like the right fit, that belonged to a place on the other side of the world? Or should I assimilate into the world of whiteness around me, even though it was racist and parochial and had never really welcomed me? My own identity began to form after the 1982 racialized killing of Vincent Chin in Detroit, and was later shaped through the hostility toward brown people during the Persian Gulf War and after 9/11. For years, my identity was a reactionary state of being. It has taken me time, reflection, and a lot of work to develop a sense of identity that is defined by my own parameters, that derives from an authentic self-concept rather than a defensive posture born of stereotypes or suspicion. The truth of the matter is that when I was growing up in the 1970s and 1980s, there was no accurate language to describe my identity, at least not any kind of language that resonated with me. In 1990, the year I began applying to college, racial categories on applications included Asian, Black, Caucasian, Hispanic, American Indian, and other, and were accompanied with a request to check one of the boxes. Only one application offered the designation multiracial. On the rest, I relegated myself to other. It was an accurate category. For 17 years, I'd felt othered. College applications seemed to make it official. In 2000, the United States expanded census categories so that respondents could select more than one race. Soon thereafter, I heard the term mixed race for the first time and felt an affinity with it. After nearly 3 decades on this earth, my categories for identity finally started catching up to the very fact of my existence. Of course, identity goes far beyond trauma, pain, othering, and exclusion. It is history, family, traditions, lore, and love. It is a celebration of the myriad ways in which we view and move throughout the world. These essays will focus on how identity, when it derives from a place of injustice, can transform itself into collective socio-political power. They will explore how an individual identity